and then we have the Barred grunter over here, which is also quite aggressive there. But this is the one that we can keep at bay by feeding them well. And you'll see that unique colour thing that will affect you in any of our water holes. We don't have jellyfish or crocodiles, but
Feral cats hunt in a very different manner to most native Australian predators. What they'll do, whether it's around parks, campgrounds, rubbish tips, seaports, places like that, in Australia they really commonly hang around fire fronts. And they know at a fire front, and they also get called fire kites for this reason, at a fire front there's a huge smorgasbord of food fleeing the flames. They're after all the invertebrates. They catch their food and then they immediately, you might have seen it just then, pass it straight up into their beak. This is called feeding on the wing, and it's something they'll naturally do. And they do it for a couple of good reasons. One's to save energy. It's all about saving energy. You don't want to do something that's not worth your while. But also at a fire front, they can gather in huge numbers, tens, hundreds, even into their thousands. So competition becomes a bit of an issue. They will scavenge and steal even off each other. And sometimes you'll even see a whistling kite at a fire front with the black kites as well. The best way to tell the difference between these two birds is by looking at their tails, almost as if you know the script, buddy. When he's perched, he's got a fork-shaped tail. It goes down to two sides, back up to a point. Whistling kite is almost the exact opposite tail. It's rounded, kind of like a paddle shape. Best way to tell the difference between the two. Now whistling kites, even though they can catch their prey out of the air just like a black kite, are more often than not looking to the ground for their food. Lizards sunning themselves on rocks, snakes, bits of roadkill off the bitumen, anything like that. It's another good way for whistling kites to save energy. They don't waste their momentum by landing and taking off again. But it also keeps them safe. They don't like spending time on the ground. It's when they're at the most vulnerable to any attack. But it also gives them access to larger food sources that they simply don't find up in the sky. And in some cases, fairly unique food sources. Especially out here in the centre, you would say that being able to catch fish is a pretty unique food source. And the whistling kite can do just that. That exact same behaviour turns into a fishing behaviour. So they can be found quite commonly around top-end river systems and coastal areas. But here in the centre, they have to find their fish in the form of permanent water holes. And we do have Glen Helen Gorge, Ormiston Gorge as well. These are a few of the permanent water holes scattered along the West MacDonnell Ranges and some of our national parks. Take a picnic lunch out there with you. You're bound to have a wonderful day. There's more to water holes than just water and whistling kites, as you'd imagine. It attracts life from all around. And during a hotter
Okay, we're in an aviary, and there's so many birds flying around. There's some budgies over there. Oh wow! They're inside the cage. I think it's feeding time.
Less people out here. So guys, it is very important to stay sitting down for the entire duration. As you can see, we'll be getting quite up close. Now, one of the more pleasant entire bird world. Come on, you can do better than that. Well, there's just a glimpse for you. So, folks, again, just remember, he's the perfect bird for us to demonstrate just how close everything will be getting this morning, so please stay sitting down for the... Especially if there is a predator flying around, he'll change that body position and make himself look really stiff, and he'll turn into a tree branch. Example of nocturnal birds, and owls, of course. Now, here in Central Australia, there are 2 species of owls. That this bird is actually found in your area too, not just here. It's not the exact same bird, of course, it's a subspecies, but the barn owl, this particular shape and model, has been repeated all over the world. The only place where you don't find barn owls is Antarctica. So the sound is funneled into those ears, into that face. She's actually capable of hearing a mouse scurrying around quiet. So we're going to do a little experiment here. You've all seen where she's flying now. What I want you to do, if you'd like to participate, is close your eyes and see if you can guess when she flies over you. So you might actually find birds willing to come down to the water to find those fish. Birds like a heron, an egret, cormorants, things like that. Ducks and swans are also found here in Central Australia, and it's an incredible is out here in the desert. And you can see he's very quickly shown us how well adapted this bird is to living in and around water with those big long legs, long...
He's gone.
Demonstrate a hunting sequence with one of Australia's fastest birds of prey. And what they lack in size, they more than make up for in speed and agility. This here is called the Australian Hobby, or Little Falcon. So what we're going to do is have a look at her incredible body shape and wing shape. Here we go. She's coming up over the trees here.
Whoa.
And look at that incredible speed.
Sweet.
So her body shape and wing shape kind of reminds us a bit of a fighter jet. Here we go, on the wind here, over the trees. Coming over now. Whoa, and there's a stoop. So you can see the incredible speed with which she negotiates people, poles, trees. So what this bird is using this incredible speed for...
Oh, damn.
That was awesome. He's trying to catch fast-flying birds.
Whoa.
That was a stoop there. So she'll use that method to sneak up from above.
Oh, he got him.
So that's what a, very good, that's what a successful catch looks like. And what these little birds will do is hunt small birds like budgerigars and little zebra finches, but this incredible speed is what allows them to do it. And you can see she's tiny. She only weighs about 250 grams. So it's no surprise that we actually base a lot of our building methods and design methods on nature. And you can see, have a look one more time. Hopefully I can sort this out before she comes back. This is acting like a bird. There we go. Just in time. Whoa! You see how she used the shrubs there? The shrubs there is a way to try and hide her entry, trying to trick me. Whoa! Really flying fast today. Whoa! That was a barrel roll, we call that. You can also see.
Oh, Jesus.
You can also see her little feet come flying out right towards the end. She's trying to grab hold of this bird that she's trying to hunt. So using these talons is a typical method for birds of prey to hunt. And what sets them apart, wow, what sets them apart from most other birds? Down there with predators. So an incredible behaviour and perfect for surviving out here in Central Australia. Now, the whistling kite figured out this behaviour by being a fishing raptor. And the black kite can actually copy him. Now, funnily enough, whistling kites have actually figured if you go to the right places, there, perfect way to tell a lot of different birds apart is birds and the environments in which they live. If you have any questions, please feel free to hang around, ask us anything you like. Thanks very much for joining us this morning, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Raptors, some very different birds of prey now. These are two species of kites. Some of you might perhaps refer to them as hawks. Now there's two different species. We've got this one, the black kite, and then this slightly larger bird here is called the whistling kite. Now the best way to try and tell them apart, because they both behave very similar, is have a look at their tail shape and their wing shape. You can see here, whoa, competition in the air. You can see here, the black kite has kind of a fork shape in the end of the tail, whereas the whistler, he's got a big, broad, paddle-shaped tail. Now you can see that both snatching food out of the air, which is an incredible behaviour, very useful, especially if you're like a black kite, you're hanging around bushfires. And for that reason, we often call these black kites fire kites, because